Hello, my name is Tedholm. I am a 2020 Virtual Ardsley resident through the Dance Gallery Festival in partnership with Catskill Art Society. I recently had the pleasure of talking to the four members of my company, TED Performance Group, that I collaborated with for this project.
Hi, I'm Lauren. Me and Teddy first met when I was in high school, when I was a junior, and he came and set work with us. So when I moved to New York when I was 18, I reached out and was like, hey, you want to grab coffee and I want to see what's up with you, what you're doing. And that's when he invited me to apprentice with him. And the rest is history. We've been working for 2.5 years now.
So I think Teddy and I met early 2019. I might be wrong about that. I'm terrible with times, but it felt around that time. And I believe I definitely was connected with Teddy through the internet for most of my young life as a dancer, up until the point where he had emailed me to come and audition in his class for the company. And I did, and I've been the happiest dancer probably ever since, because it's just the most organic, the most natural process with Teddy and everybody else in the company. And I really just feel like my voice individually is able to be heard in relationship to all the other beautiful dancers a part of the group.
Hi, I'm Jordyn Santiago. I am originally from Jacksonville, North Carolina. And I think the first time I'm pretty sure I've worked with Teddy for 5 years now. And we never really had a conversation. It was just kind of like, come be a part of this work that I've been creating. And then, yeah, it just clicked as soon as I got into the space with him. And so here we are 5 years later, and we're still making a bunch of work, and I love every part of it. So.
Hi, my name is Destini. I'm from Oklahoma City. I've known Teddy for way too many years. I don't know, 10, 15, whatever. He was a child. And now he's a grown man making great work. And I'm happy to be a part of the process.
My concept for the film was that I really wanted to make something to pay tribute to visual artists that inspire me, but also make something that explored what inspiration looks like what that moment from seeing something for the first time that inspires you, what does that kind of journey look like in your mind? And surrealism came after World War I, after this shared global trauma that people had never really had before. And so now here we are in COVID, where everybody's kind of going through this same sort of trauma that we have had pandemics in the past, but not in living memory for most people. And so I think there's a case to be made for kind of rebirth of surrealism in art, as we start to reemerge from COVID, thinking about what art even is going to be about anymore. COVID has fundamentally changed things, I think, forever, a lot of things.
I was more so a spectator to the work, within the work. It was interesting because I hadn't even seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first glimpse of it I really got was the actual paintings first. So I got to see the paintings and I was like, oh, these are so cool. It was so interesting because it just explains COVID to me. It's like, I only worked with you. I didn't even see really Jordyn, Destini, or Cam in the process until filming day. And so it was really neat to get to see what y'all did to contribute to the same thing I was contributing to.
For me, going in to make each little piece, it's like I wasn't really thinking about the big picture. I was really just like this.
It's also interesting because while yes, every single piece had its own individuality and its own message with it that all kind of tied together. But I also think in the bigger picture sense, what made it so interesting and vibrant while being in rehearsals with everybody, and then also coming back and just being in that room with Lauren while she's doing her solo, it's cool because I feel like that goes back to a conversation I think me and you and Destini and Jordyn, I think, had in rehearsal about kind of like this new age of radical work, and how like as artists we're having to, kind of rewire our ways of thinking and creating in a pandemic era. And I think that this work particularly is like, I think, a first step into that kind of thing, because we all had to separate and we all kind of had to figure out how we can make the overall message of the work come to life while also kind of having some distance between us in a lot of ways, which I think, again, goes hand in hand with just like what art is going to have to evolve into in order to like support itself and make itself sustainable again. And I think that's something really interesting in this work going on.
Usually, at least in the past few years, all the work that we've all done together has been really character based. Like months of just making characters before we even start making movement for them. And the concept itself was asking for only visual inspiration. I was wondering how that felt for you guys, and if it felt different, if you prefer one way or the other, or just any thoughts.
I'm actually interested in trying to develop work from as many different angles as possible. I enjoy being surprised. I enjoy the emotional roller coaster of it. If, for example, the first time I actually was to perform my solo in front of everyone, it's just such a different experience than when you're learning it, And for me, that's how I prefer it. That's how I prefer to experience it. So
I would say I think this is also one of the first times I've, especially with you, Teddy, have done just like create the movement, not with the feeling or even really a sensation attached to it. I found it really easy. Usually my go-to is like tap into an emotion. I'm really emotional, dramatic, whatever you want to say. And so this felt kind of nice to not have to feel anything other than what it is. I remember, I think we were making up one of our trios, me, you, and Teddy, and you just were like, yeah, we're just I'm just gonna go with it, And it came out so easily. I feel like everything we made, there was no force with it, and it took no time to make.